Hello and welcome to God's Minute. I'm Pastor Jonathan Conrad, the senior pastor at St. Paul's Lutheran Church in Wilmington, North Carolina. This week we have been reclaiming the B word, the B word being Bible, and I have been sharing with you books in the Bible that I believe can help you in your spiritual journey during this pandemic. So far this week, we have talked about the Psalms, Proverbs, and then the four Gospels: Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John. And today we wrap up this week by looking at one of my favorite books in the entire Bible, and that is Jonah. Jonah is a wonderful story about the reluctant prophet. When God comes calling and asking Jonah to go and preach and save Nineveh, Jonah says, no, nope, not going to do it. In fact, you could say that when Jonah replies, he says, heck no. That's how much Jonah did not want to save Nineveh. Well, as the story unfolds, Jonah gives up to God's call. And when he goes, Jonah does the least he could do to get Nineveh to change their evil ways. But it works. And Jonah is not happy because Jonah did not want to see Nineveh survive. Jonah wanted to see Nineveh be destroyed and to be eliminated. And so Jonah has to deal with a God who not only looks after the chosen people, the Israelites, but also Israelites' enemies like Nineveh. And so that get me to thinking, why does this book have to do with the pandemic? Well, in this pandemic, there are times when God is calling us to remain strong, to remain faithful, to remain praying for those around us, including our enemies. And at times during this pandemic, we may want to say no to God. But God does not take no lightly. God's going to keep on knocking. God's going to keep on following us because God wants us to spread the good news. And sometimes that means spreading the good news to the people we do not like, that we do not love. Because the God who loves me, the God who loves you, is the God who loves everyone. Because we are all God's children. Think about it another way. So the story of Jonah talks about how Nineveh is saved. Nineveh was the bitter enemy of Israel. So when putting the Bible together, the Hebrew scriptures, the Jewish people, the Israelites, had a choice. They could have left this story out, but they didn't. So why keep a story where the enemy is restored if there's something else going on? Just something to think about as you read Jonah. It's a very quick read. It's a wonderful read, and it also ends in a cliffhanger. It ends with a question, and I think that question can also be something that we can think about and ponder during this spiritual pandemic. And that is, are we ready to worship a God who loves our enemy? Something to think about. And I hope it's something that you will discern about. And then also just say, okay, God, you're the boss. Tell me where to go. Tell me who to talk to. Tell me who you want me to share your good news with. Thank you so much for listening this week, and I hope that these books will help you in your spiritual journey and in times that you find yourself weak, in times that you find yourself ready to give up. Remember, the Bible is there as the resource that God gives you so that you can be restored, so that you can find energy and strength to carry on. And God goes with you wherever you are in your journey. You take good care of yourself. Have a wonderful weekend, and I will see you next week for another edition of God's Minute. Take care.